You know when credibility walks in the room, right? Credibility acts, shows, proves. Bob Marley said that the greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. I'm Marlene Foster with Empower the Vision, and we're going to talk about just a recap of the last 3 weeks, speaking on credibility. We talked about the first week was trust and belief, and that was Michael Jordan, how Michael prepared to become a champion. Michael practiced with intensity, and his girlfriend was there with him watching. She trusted him, she believed in him, she felt there was credibility there, and it was. And now Michael has now become what? Greatest of all time. Reliability was the second week. Authenticity and how transparent you are, and people can see the type of loyalty that you portray. Promises and accountability was third week. The third week, we talked about the implied promises and express promises. And remember, implied is what? What you can see. If you see a house on fire, you call who? The fire department, right? And they come out immediately. And you already know that they're going to do what you expect them to do, and that's to do what? Put out the fire. When I think about today's topic, which is the presence of credibility, I think about Dr. Martin Luther King. I was in Memphis, Tennessee. This is where I live today, but I traveled here from home, which was Chicago. But I traveled to Memphis, and I was here at that time when the sanitation workers decided to go on strike. Dr. Martin Luther King came, and he formulated a march. There was a march throughout this city. Fires were everywhere, smells of trash. Trash was piling up. People were just angry. There was a lot of passion, hurt, and pain here in Memphis, Tennessee. I was here and I saw it. I was a child, but I remember that. I remember that sight. And then I think about credibility with William Shakespeare. And as you know, William Shakespeare was during the time of Elizabeth the First, right? And remember now, think about in writing, his poems come up in writing, his quotes are seen in writing. People still do his plays; they're still created, right? But William Shakespeare, uh, in speeches, you hear people talk about William Shakespeare. He is highly credible, a credible individual. So we talk about credibility, we talk about the impact that's made, right? The impact that's made on us. Okay, now I want to say that when you're looking at your presence and you're looking at credibility, think about your story. Own it. Own the story that you tell your clients. Own the story that you tell even a friend. Show value. The value should be portrayed in your actions, in the way you live your life. And that's how you build it, is through your character. You build credibility through character. Today, I'm going to talk to you about five different ways that I've seen credibility in my own life. 5 ways with 5 different females. First, I'd like to introduce to you Neka Hall. And Neka is the mother of 4 children. NECA is a pregnancy and loss awareness advocate with a primary focus on infant and maternal mortality within the African American community. NECA is the founder of Quietly United in Lost Together. She calls it QUILT. Following the stillbirth of her daughter in August of 2010, NECA sought out ways to aid others in having a positive birth outcome. She founded Mother is Supreme in 2021. Credibility again, NECA is impacting her community. And NECA and I will be doing actually a live stream this coming actually tomorrow. We're doing a live stream that will talk about health, women, and how health can impact the business. I'll talk about the healthy business and how it's impacted again, and that how we have to have preventive measures in place. And NECA will be describing what women can do to help to stay healthy. Next, I'd like to talk to you about a really good friend of mine, Heather McWilliam. Heather founded Brave Inspires Brave, a movement that inspires and builds brave leaders of today and tomorrow, and focusing on military, law enforcement, and family. Heather was an active police officer, and now her focus today is helping you and I, helping communities to become brave. And she also has an impact on mental health. And you know, this is Mental Health Month. And so she is really talking about being brave. Ladies and gentlemen, staying brave in your community, being brave on the job, but taking on preventive measures as well. Brave inspires brave. And she is also has a membership where she that you can actually join. I will attach what I'm talking about today. All of the leaders I'm speaking of, I will attach more detail about how you can reach out to them and learn more about the membership that she has that you can actually join, and you can actually learn more about bravery within your own community. Next, I'd like to introduce Constance Johnson. Constance is her services are impeccable. She helps with curriculum vitas. She helps you with your resume. And one thing that I noticed that she speaks a lot on, and that is stop sounding like everybody else. And also stop listing skill sets. All because I looked at my own resume and she's right. Your skill set does not tell your story, does it? What Constance says in her newsletters inspire you. Her newsletter gives examples. For instance, she has one great one that's called How Leaders Sound on Paper. How do you sound on paper? Take a look at your resume. And not only that, take a look at your writing. I went further than just that. When I read her newsletters, I look at my writing. Constance inspires me to not only look at my Vita, but to look at how I communicate in general. And she wanted to say that examples of what she says that you should really take a look at is, for instance, don't say that you're responsible for something in your Vita or even in your writing in general. She said use words like let, led, directed, delivered, or oversaw. Led, you led something. Tell the outcome is what she's saying. Tell what you've done, what your experiences have been. What was the outcome of your skill set? And also she said she sees the word helped a lot. Instead of help, state the achievement directly. Don't just say I helped this group of individuals. Tell how you did it. I'd like to also now introduce Lois Pipers. And Lois is truly, I'm really looking forward to she and Constance, and also NECA will be working with me on the book I'm writing. It's about discomfort, how discomfort empowers you. These three women have agreed to come and share their stories, and you'll be hearing more about them. Now, Lois facilitates. I'm seeing more and more about her. She facilitates a series of live streams where she helps people to acquire jobs. She helps with small businesses. She helps with a number of things. She was in the banking industry. And NECA is now helping you. And she says here that the three C's in life: choice, chance, and change. You must make a choice to take a chance if you want anything to change. So she wants you to join her in the different workshops that she is hosting, the different live streams, and she will show you the challenges that maybe she has faced, but now how change can also empower you. Last is a dear friend, Ambreen Nadine. Ambreen actually has inspired a lot of us. She is a best-selling author, and she's a keynote speaker also, but she specializes in mental health. And the study of human behavior has always been fascinating for her. It's been a passion. And beyond her professional journey, she deeply committed to mental health advocacy. And she co-founded Save Lives, the Save Lives Project that I've seen a lot of. And the initiative is on raising awareness about mental health and suicide prevention. In 2022, she published her first book, The Algorithm of Life. And I've read this book, it is phenomenal. This book is, I mean, now in credibility, one of the main reasons that I've often speak about when you talk about credibility is customer awareness. And this is what Ambreen focuses on, customer awareness. When you look at community awareness, and especially this month, dealing with suicides on the rise, dealing with young people in the suicide. And this is what she does. She speaks to us through her writing, through her books, through the different programs that she puts on. She walks through the door and she shows how credible she is. Credibility. Credibility, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, is not just about, it's about not just writing, like maybe you write posts, but it's about what people see when they walk, when you walk through the door and people see you. What do they see? What type of goals do you have in mind? What type of challenges have you faced that you can now own your own story? Just as I spoke with it, Breen and her story, and I spoke about NECA, and her story, Constance, and I spoke about Lois. Their stories are empowering, ladies and gentlemen. And we have to recognize like with NECA and Heather. Heather has she's co-authored a book on Brave Inspires Brave. When you look at these ladies, NECA and Heather, Constance, Lois, and Ambreen, they definitely do walk through the door, and credibility is in the room when you see these ladies walking through the door. So I want to say to you today that stop and take a look at yourself. Take a look at your business, take a look at your family. How credible are you? I want to just invite you, just do that. And you can even tell me in your comments, tell me in the comments about you and credibility. How do you empower your community? Well, I want to thank you. And also, when I have my next workshop, I'd like to invite all of you to join me. And I want to tell you to thank you and enjoy a wonderful Thursday.